What's up, guys? This is gonna be playing as Frostblind here. I'm gonna do kind of a BG commentary. It's not gonna be so much about this BG because, as you'll see, especially from my end, there's not much going on. But as you can see, the video is only like 7-something minutes long, and another minute and a half of that's gonna be us waiting for the match to start. But a couple things I did want to talk about is communications and tactics. Like, obviously, being relatively new to the PvP scene, there's not much I can offer you guys yet as far as advice on game mechanics and skills and classes and stuff like that. One of the things I've really seen is lacking, and maybe it's just because it's the end of Cataclysm, like people are just goofing around in BGs and stuff, but just like one thing that seems to be really lacking is communication and tactics. People not talking to each other, people not paying attention to guild chat when people do talk, or BG chat, and especially with tactics. You'll see it all the time. Things like the whole team fighting mid and then wondering why nobody caps flags, or we don't have any bases. Things like people capping bases and just leaving. Like, you'll see me up here. I'm gonna stay at stables for a good minute just because I don't want to leave it alone. Because as soon as you leave it alone, that's always when shit goes downhill. But you'll see we win this one pretty damn quick. They end up getting, I think it's 50 points, but we end up 5 capping them and locking it down just relatively quickly. But a few of the things you'll see, stuff like AoEing the flag when you're trying to cap it. So the other team, or when you're defending it rather, so the other team can't, it interrupts their capture. Um, things like, I mean, even especially with the communication end of things, like nobody's at mines, let's go attack mines, or hey, there's a bunch of people at stables with a bunch of healers, like let's stop attacking there and go somewhere else where there isn't people. Um, I don't know if we do so well in this BG because of our tactics, but I can pretty much tell you that the Horde team was not talking to each other, and they were not thinking about what they were doing, because as you're about to see, this is we straight up embarrass them. But if you get a relatively undergeared team and you're going up against like a full glad team or a pre-made or something, you can still, like, it's still not outside the realm of possibilities to do relatively well against them, as long as like, at that point it doesn't become like outplaying their class or whatever. It becomes more of outthinking them and out communicating them. Stuff like paying attention to incomings, actually listening to incomings, not, oh, well, I'm fighting in the middle. And this is one of the big things, is expecting your team to take care of it. And I'm not saying you got to do everything by yourself, you can't trust anybody, but at the same time, you can't, everything that pops up, you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm fighting mid, like the rest of my team's going to get it. Like, that's not the right answer. And I do understand that there is a need for that slayer role, that trying to keep the enemy reinforcements down, trying to keep as many people off the battlefield as you can. But at the same time, you also, I mean, all these battlegrounds, they're an objective-based game. It's not just like deathmatch, team deathmatch. This isn't this isn't Call of Duty. There's some more thought process that's got to go into this. But like you can see right now, we have 3 of them. We have farm. We blitzed farm, which is brings up my next point, is just because something works for you, like for a battleground or two, doesn't mean like it's the end-all be-all answer. You'll go into battlegrounds all the time and people will say, especially I see it on Isle of Conquest all the time. You see it like, oh, take docks and workshop and we win. And that's not always the case. Like, yeah, that's a good tactic for alliance side, but if stuff like that works a lot, if it doesn't work, like, switch up your tactics. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you keep trying to cap one base over and over and over again, and your whole team keeps dying, that's probably a good sign that you need to go somewhere else. Like, that's like, cut your losses and just try something else. Like you'll see a lot of times people will. Here's another one of my points. People just keep spawning, charging a base by themselves that's got like 4 or 5 enemies at it, and dying. And then they'll spawn, and then they'll charge that same base, and then they'll die. You have like if you're gonna do stuff like that, group up. Like there's almost always going to be at least 1 or 2 people at other bases that aren't doing anything, or like you'll have like 5 people defending one base in a 10v10, and it's just if there's not like constant pressure there, it's just unnecessary. You see that a lot, especially Strand of the Ancients. I see that a lot. Is people will just keep on, will get stonewalled and just one after another bring one demo up there, and then one demo up there, and then one demo up there, where you end up wasting a lot less time if you just wait the extra 20-30 seconds and group everybody up, and then charge, because they're not going to be able to kill all of you at the same time as fast as just their whole team focusing on one demolisher or one enemy. You see at this point they have taken the lumber mill. Little segue into the actual battleground here. Taken lumber mill, and that's the only one we don't have right now. As you can see, 4 bases to their 0. I go up here, and here's another mistake. Is they cap the base. They have their one chance in this battleground to get a good foothold, and their whole team is up there not paying attention to the actual flag. If they would have been paying attention and actually like focusing on this flag, then like they may have been able to get a foothold and possibly brought it back. Like it wouldn't have been easy, but it would have been better. And as you can see, like they see that the Alliance has taken back the lumber mill, and they're still just back there, just not even paying attention. And then you'll see as they start coming up here, I start just picking off the guys that are trying to run away, still completely oblivious that we just took lumber mill. So I mean, this video is getting close to being over, and it's just a quick, like you guys know, I can't do over 15 minutes yet, but yeah, just I mean, think about what you're doing and talk to your teammates, and you'll be surprised how much that is actually going to affect your skill and your win, the outcome of the battleground. But as for now, this has been Blindside playing on Frostblind. As you guys know, Miss Pandaria coming out in about 24 hours at this point. But be sure to keep watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and in my channel there's a link to my live stream that'll be going live as soon as I get a chance to get on Miss Pandaria. Definitely check that out. But until then, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.